Assalamualaikum and hi to my supervisor Dr. Hassan Saleh and my panel PM Dr. Muhammad Syafuriza bin Abdul Hamid. My name is Nur Ain Binti Ahmad Nawawi. I am a student of 4 BTMI. Today I would like to make my video of final year project, which is the title of it was the effect of technology management towards online education system among students in Malaysia. So let's go. First and foremost, Chapter 1, Introduction of Online Education System. As Iqbal and Ahmad stated that online learning has emerged as a new learning method for developing countries. Online learning provides advantages for both university and students. The simultaneous of online learning via platforms such as video conference or chat room, which allow the lecturers and students communicate directly during the online classes. It also gives opportunity for their interaction before and after the classes through the thread of discussion, class activity, emails, assignment and others. Next, background of this study. The online learning provides advantages in independent learning and developing new skills of the process leading to the lifelong learning as Tawan 2020. Due to the pandemic of COVID-19 issue, with the closure of physical classes, which has been replaced online learning through the uses of several devices such as laptop, computer, smartphone and others, with the internet access, which become alternative way for a new learning method in educational environment. Next, moving forward to problem statement. As we know that online learning has effective way of new learning method, however, there are some issue of it. There has been a report of 52% of students in Sabah, Malaysia which does not have the internet access due to inadequate of infrastructure. As Lee 2020 stated that inadequate online learning infrastructure and limited accessibility to the internet make the student process of learning become more harder, especially students who live in rural and isolated areas. Besides the limited accessibility to the internet, the student experience become more difficulty with the communicating with their lecturers, interaction with their friends or classmates, and laboratory access tasks which affected their studies. Next, research question and research objective. There are 3 research questions, same as research objective. The first one was, what are the implications of technology management towards online education system among students? The second one, what is the relationship between the factors influencing the level of interest in the online education system among students? And the third one, what is the most significant factor affecting the level of interest in the online education system among students? Meanwhile, in research objective was to identify the effect of technology management towards online education system among students. Next, to investigate the relationship between the factors influencing the level of interest in the online education system among students. And the last one, to analyze the most significant factor affects the level of interest in the online education system among students. Next, moving forward to scope and limitation of this study. This study focused on the effect of technology management towards online education system among students in Malaysia, which more concentrating on students in Malacca. This study will analyze the effectiveness of technology management in order to draw a relevant conclusion about the online education system among Malaysian students in the contribution of educational environment. For the limitation of this study, the data is limited to the Malacca region and the higher educational student on the first year of degree who was studying in Faculty Technology Management and Entrepreneurship (FPTT) in UTM. Next, significance of this study. The findings of this study which help the student to understand the effect of technology management towards online education system among students which is heading to the educational environment through online learning platform e-learning, which improve the educational environment especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Chapter 2, Literature Review. In the theoretical framework, the dependent variable was online education system. Meanwhile, the independent variable was the communication, facilitation, adoption, and evaluation. Communication refers to the interaction between the student and the lecturer. In order of the discussion during the class activity, the assignment, group activity, and others. With the uses of online meeting apps such as Google Meet, Zoom meeting, Webex meeting, and other apps which help the student and the lecturer to communicate easily. Next, Facilitation. Facilitation refer to how online education system facilitate the student class activity or group assignment which more effectively. Next, the adoption. The adoption refer to how students adopt with this new learning method of online learning, such as downloading their notes and then their activity classes through the online education system. And the last one, evaluation, refer how online education system evaluate the student academic performance to online quiz, the mid-test, the final year exam and others. Next, moving to the hypothesis. There are 4 of it. The hypothesis which has established for this study was the hypothesis 1. There is significant relationship between the communication and online education system. Hypothesis 2. There is significant relationship between the facilitation and online education system. Hypothesis 3. There is a significant relationship between the adoption and online education system. And hypothesis 4. There is a significant relationship between the evaluation and online education system. Chapter 3. Research Methodology. For the research design, this study was about the effect of technology management towards online education system among students in Malaysia. Next, explanatory research. All the secondary data would be studied from the current and the past research, and lastly, to the primary data would be analysed in order to find out the relationship between the effect of technology management towards online education system among students in Malaysia. Next, research strategy. By using a survey strategy, it will give more control over the research process. The survey is led by the method of questionnaire which is distributed to the student in Universiti Teknikal Malaysia Melaka, UTM. Let's continue to the quantitative research. The relationship between the variables which are measured numerically and analysed using a range of statistical and graphical techniques are all in the concept of quantitative research. Primary data. Primary data is considered as the information which gathered by investigator for a specific aim of the study. This is the crucial part as well as the initial source of the data gathered in this study. For the purpose of it relevant to this study, primary data will be collected via distributing questionnaire to the students. The respondent will be required to answer the question which have been prepared in the questionnaire to measure the several independent constructs under the study on a Likert scale 1 to 5, which is strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. There were 3 parts of this questionnaire, which is part A, demographic, which is age, gender, and level education. Part B was the effect of technology management towards online education system among students, which include the 4 independent variables: communication, facilitation, adoption, and evaluation. And part C was the level of interest online education system among students. Secondary data. Saunders et al. 2016 described that the sources of secondary data are the journal, article, internal record, books, and government publication websites. Move to time horizon. Time horizon is a term used to identify the length of the time research is being carried out. Saunders et al. 2016 also suggested the time horizon is the time duration which the study can be taken. In addition, the researcher conduct the research in the short-term period, which is from March 2021 to January 2022. Research population and sample by Krejci and Morgan table which been used in this study. As mentioned above, the stated population of the first year degree of student in FPTT which around 412 of student, and its value which closest to the table to the end sample was 400. According to the Krejci-Morgan table 1970, if the population 400, then it needs to collect 169 responses in order to achieve the rate of 100% of responses. For the data analysis which been carried out, which is SPSS software, descriptive analysis, validity and reliability, Pearson correlation, thus multiple regression analysis. As we can see on the left side, which was research population and sample. In accordance with Adam Hayes 2019, a simple random sample was a subset of measurable populace in which each part of the subset has an equal probability of being chosen. A simple random sample is implied to be an impartial representation of a group. The study target populace is the amount of students who study in Melaka of the first year degree batch of students in FPTT. Next, on the right side, research location. The research location will be specific to the Faculty of Management, Technology and Technopreneurship FPTT from University Technical Malaysia Melaka UTM. Moreover, there are 5 types of analysis. The first one, respondent demographic information. The details of demographic from 196 respondents which involve the result on the effect of technology management towards online education system among students will be defined by the data analysis. In this part, the respondent background are analysed including their gender, courses, online learning experience, the type of online learning platform and how often they visiting this online learning platform. Number 2, descriptive analysis. Descriptive statistics are one of the methods which use table, graph and overview calculation to evaluate, define, display and explain the collection of data from the study. Researchers use the descriptive statistics to illustrate through questionnaire and explain the fundamental characteristic of the research. Descriptive statistics also used to describe the basic feature of the data which involve to summarize of the sample and measurements. In this case, the researcher employed 5 points of Likert scale to identify the effect of technology management towards on education system among students in Malaysia. The 5 Likert scale were 1 to 5, which is strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree and strongly agree. Number 3, Pearson correlation between independent variable and dependent variable. According to Saunders et al. 2016, the correlation coefficient may be used to determine the strength of the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable. Number 4, hypothesis testing. The research requires hypothesis testing in this section to evaluate whether or not the hypothesis has been rejected or accepted. Number 5, multiple linear regression analysis. Multiple linear regression analysis is applied by the researcher to test the study to the hypothesis. As a result of multiple regression analysis, the significance level was determined and was given as a range of the value. This state if the level are greater than 0.05 and the level irrelevant because the maximum significant level the variable was 0.00. In the study, it also consists of 3 sections in the multiple linear regression analysis, which is model summary, ANOVA and coefficient. Next, in Chapter 4, Interpretation of Cronbach Alpha Coefficient, this research contains 25 questions using Likert scale to determine the level of agreement. Table 4.16 and Table 4.17 above show the reliability test for both dependent variable and independent variable for this research. The total number of the questions was 25 with the 20 questions belonging to the 4 independent variable, while other 5 questions remaining belonging to the dependent variable. The Cronbach alpha rating is 0.965 based on the answer to all the questions above. According to the table of Cronbach alpha coefficient range and strength of association above, all these questions were good and highly reliable. As we can see on table 4.18 shows the result of multiple regression analysis for model summary which is related in this research. It is demonstrate the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable. The value of correlation coefficient R was 0.834 and the value of coefficient determinant R square was 0.696. According to the result above, both of these values means there was a strong relation between these variables. The suggested of the online education got 69.6%, which influenced the evaluation, communication, adoption and facilitation. Also, as we can see, table 4.19 shows the result of multiple regression analysis for ANOVA, which is related in this research. However, the F-test result value above is higher value, which means it is a good fit for the data in this research. In this case, multiple regression analysis may use the estimate positive effect when using the technology management to minimize the problem of online education system. The factors of independent variable reduce evaluation, communication, adoption, facilitation, contributing to online education system. based on table 4.20 shows the result of multiple regression analysis for coefficient which related of this study. According to the result above, the significant value of communication was 0.004. Next, the significant value of facilitation was 0.2, while the adoption of significant value was 0.002. Then the evaluation has the highest significant value of 0.001 compared to the other three variables. In this case, it shows that evaluation has the greatest positive effect when using technology management to minimize the problem of online education system. Continue to the summary of hypothesis. According to the hypothesis result, it shows that all of independent variables have a positive relationship between the effect of technology management towards online education system among students, which is communication, facilitation, adoption, and evaluation. Chapter 5. Conclusion and recommendation. Implication of the study. All of the objectives were accomplished by the researcher in using descriptive analysis, Pearson correlation, multiple linear regression analysis, and hypothesis test. The relationship between the communication, facilitation, adoption, and evaluation, which influence the intention of students to use online education system. In summary, respondents are more prioritized on evaluation on online education system. All of the factors have reached the objective related to the intention on using online education system. Recommendation for the future research. In the future, other qualifications should be encouraged to explore more. Next, qualitative research methods such as face-to-face interview are recommended in obtaining detailed opinion from the public in the future. Conclusion. Thus, this research provides valuable insight of technology management application to online education system, which provide conceptual basic in this future field of this study. To sum up, this report aims to provide all of the students as to develop in-depth knowledge insight regarding to the intention of using online education system. That's all for me. Thank you for lending me your ears and willing to spending your time to watch this video. And remember, stay healthy, stay safe, stay at home. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye. Assalamualaikum.